This is going to be the second game I record. It's actually the fourth game I played. I ended up going 2-2 with the deck. The two games I lost, I think I made really bad misplays. I actually, at one point, healed a full health minion instead of healing my general. I just misclicked. And I made a couple poor judgment calls in another game. So I might end up recording those, I might not. But I think that even in the games I won, you can see that I'm very inexperienced with the deck. I think especially in this game, you can see early on my game planning is not good. I don't kind of plan the way I want to win the game. So I end up, basically my opponent, you can see, throws down a couple early obelisks. And I go and try to immediately remove them. And the issue is that this deck doesn't really have the ability to come out that fast. You really peak at the mid game when you can start getting your Bloodborne spell active and your synergies start kind of combining for a lot of value that overwhelms your opponent then. But trying to fight for the early game and the mana crystals like you do with most decks is kind of a losing strategy, and I play right into that. This game, I actually try to contest this early obelisk because attacking it's free, so it's pretty enticing, but the Fireblaze obelisk combined with a Dunecaster mean that my opponent gets to kill all my minions for free, and they're left with a 3-1, a 5-1, and 3 obelisks, and I am left with absolutely nothing going into my third turn. So, right now, I realize that we need to change course. I want to kill that obelisk, but I just decide that we're not killing obelisks this game, we're running away from them. I don't even think it's correct for me to hit this one. I think the correct play is for me to run up here and attack this obelisk, attack this dervish, and remove this one with the Lucent Beam like I did. And I think that would have been better than trying to fight on this area, because these obelisks control this area well, whereas they can't really reach this area that effectively. This one might if it gets a good spawn, but it's only 2 out of these 6 squares that it could, other possible spawns. And this one could with maybe one of these 2 spawns, which is again 2 out of the 6, although I'm in 2 of these places, so right now it's 2 out of the 4, but or actually one of the 2 I go. Either way, so I could really make it so these don't have as big of an effect on the board and would allow me to catch up, but I play into their area for no reason. All I did was get 2 damage on this obelisk, which ends up not mattering at all. And because these spawn 3/2s, the general is just able to kill my Silver God Knight for pretty much free again. So I've lost 2 Silver God Knights for free, and the Healing Mystic. So I'm pretty far behind at this point, and they're going pretty aggressively by cashing in their low health minions. And I don't think that's a bad idea, because I could be playing something like Tempest that could just wipe out the 2 health minions, so cashing them in for damage isn't a bad idea, especially when I'm pretty low. So now I start, changing my game plan, and I play my Sunforge Lancer in a more defensive position, and they get a good spawn. This is the only spawn that would allow them to attack this square, and they use the Rasha's Curse, I think, is what they end up playing right now, and they're able to kill the Sunforge Lancer, and then they are able to play a Pax, and they attack me with their Dervish. So right now I have nothing on the board again. You see that basically my entire board's getting removed every turn, and I think it's because early in the game I played way too aggressively with my minions, and I didn't start running away fast enough. So now I realize that this corner is really the corner where I'm safe, because it's very hard for any of these to reach that corner. So I'm going to create a little fortress over here. I can't run there yet, and I positioned this here because I want the Pax to attack me and not it. Unfortunately, this allows... I think the correct play here isn't to go for my face. I think it's to start killing off my Silver God. But they decide to play very, very aggressively. And they're putting out a Spelljammer, which kind of tells us that they're a more aggressive deck, so a lot of what they're doing makes sense, in that they're just trying to end the game as quickly as possible. And they're doing a fairly good job of it. So I'm going to go all the way down to 9 right here. Or excuse me, 7 after the general attack. And I'm pretty surrounded. The Blistering Scorn only does 1 damage, so it's not going to be able to clear any of these. And right now, I'm going to start trying to get my healing rolling because this is the first time I got to use my Bloodborne spell right now. So I'm going to cash in the attack, then use the heal, and I get a true strike for each of these. So I'm going to use my general to attack this because I don't think I'm going to die right now. And I want to preserve the health on the Silver God, and then I can heal up with the Sundra Obelisk. So I'm probably not going to die. None of these obelisks can get anything over here to hit me. So being at 9 life isn't that bad. And notice that we get the effect from the Sunforge, so we're up to 4 attack, which isn't too relevant yet because we're not attacking anything, but it could be good later in the game. So they're able to kill a provoke minion, which is scary because now we're pretty vulnerable. If they just play a rush minion or if they play like Mario Healer, we're basically dead. We just have to keep healing up our general. So right here, they play the packs. And right now, I'm not sure if I want to kill the... I know I want to kill the packs because then I can lay down the Sunriser. And if I put it right here, it will kill whatever the... If I put it on the same place as the Pax was, I know I'll be able to kill everything with its effect. So I'm going to attack with this, and on the Pax, and then I'm going to use the heal on this because that's my only minion that I'll be able to heal this turn. So I play the Sunriser, and I use the Healing Mystic on my General because I'm still scared that I might be getting killed some way because their General's right next to me, so they're spawning their minions right near me. But I'm able to take down the dervishes that are here, and I kind of fortress up again. And right now I'm not sure if I want to kill the Spelljammer. And Spelljammer is one of those cards that gives you a lot of options. I do end up killing it with the True Strike because I'm going to have more, and you can only replace 1 card a turn, so I don't need that many to replace, and I think the game's going to end fairly soon because we're both at low life totals. But Spelljammer gives you the choice every turn of drawing the card and then presenting your opponent with the choice, or killing it. And this happens for both players because the effect's symmetrical. And a lot of time it's pretty tempting to want to draw the card because otherwise you feel like your opponent got the better end of the value out of it. But in this situation, having a minion near me allows my opponent to do... allows more of my opponent's cards to be active, like their buffs, if they had any of the wishes, or if they had any inner oases, they could start getting some value over here. Or there may be... I believe there's a, I forget the card, but it gives +1/+3 and provoke. These aren't as commonly played, but just any of these cards that give value to a minion. If they just had second wish, for instance, they could take out my Sun Sister or my Sunriser and still have a minion on the board. So I decided it's best just to remove it. I don't need the extra card right now. I think I have enough on the board that I could win the game here with just what's on the board, given that these minions are pretty much not part of the game for the most part, except for this, which does buff the dervishes still. So I decided to kill it because I think if we stay on the course we're going now, and we kind of slow the game down and don't make a ton of changes to the status quo, we'll win. So that's why I decided to kill the Spelljammer. But I think it's almost always a choice because I would be getting the card, and I would be able to utilize the card on my next turn. If I thought the game was ending on my next turn, I would be the only one getting the benefit of the card. So right now they play a second Fireblaze Obelisk, and they use Star's Fury, which lets them summon 4 attack minions, which is pretty terrible for me, because they are able to wipe my entire board. And right now, I think that this game we battled back is probably about to, get out of reach again. And right now I'm trying to figure out, right now my thought was, how do I kill this Fireblaze Obelisk? Because this is the only one that's affecting the game right now. So do I move forward and attack it, or do I use the Scorn? But I'm at 4, and I can't gain any more attack right now, so Scorn's probably not that useful. I'm thinking the Lucent Beam could kill it off, but then there's still going to have, this will be a 3/2 once this dies, but this is still active, and they have 3 cards in hand and 9 mana, so I'm trying to calculate how to kill the Obelisk, and I think that's something that a lot of people would do. But if we look here, we actually have lethal on the board, even though we have no minions. Because remember, this can go face, and this does 4 damage. So we do have 4 + 4 + 4, which is 12. And we have the mana to get this minion down, play this and play this for 8 mana, so that's what we end up doing. Is we just have to play this minion right next to them, use the Holy Immolation, attack with our general, and then play the Lucent Beam. And we actually get a pretty clutch victory in a game that looked like we were going to lose early. I was just going to concede, but I just kept playing, just for the sake of the video, honestly. So this was a really cool game, and I think this is a cool deck, and I think it's definitely worth taking a look, especially if you can play it better than I did in all of these games, even the ones that I won. So thanks for watching, guys. Remember to send in your decks if you want me to do them, and I'll toss you a Scheme gift card if that's what we end up using. Thanks.